The it, it was
Recorded.
it was very difficult to recruit team members because, as you know, that time Korean, government President Park Chung-hee was many people thought he was a dictator, and they were worried about uh, forming science and engineers association to work for Korean government. That's 어영단체. So many people were reluctant to join, and that was the reason why Kim Il appointed me as general affairs director, because I was anti-dictatorship and I participated in Samsung movement at the Washington D.C. so on. Anyway, uh, now we tried very hard, and under the great leadership of Kim Seung Kyung, we finally uh, recruited 421 members. It was not easy one, but we made it. And we made 7 local chapters. Chapter is more than 30 people in group, and 3 branches. The first branch was the Delaware branch, so on. And we tried to publish KSEA Directory 1 in 1972, but because of survey was delayed, which was published in second administration and distributed in 1973 to the government officers, academia, research organizations, and business in Korea, which helped quite a bit for Korea to recruit scientists. Here is the uh, Windsor Park Hotel, now Chinese Embassy. And let me see. Can you see the picture? Oh, okay. Here's the Kim Seung-kyung, me, Lee Jong-sam, editor, Kim Ok-il, 간사장, and Lee Jong-mok, financial, you know, affairs. Kim Jong-un was not here. Okay, the credentials of Professor Shoon Kyung Kim is the first excellent academic career. He was admitted to the Department of Chemistry, Osaka University, but it's really that time it's called Osaka Imperial University in Japan. And in 1942, he entered, then got his bachelor's in 1944. He was one of the very few Koreans admitted to that university at that time, and received his PhD from Yale University under Professor Lars Gonzaga. I don't know the real pronunciation, but anyway, he became Nobel laureate in 1968 in chemistry, and he served as professor of chemistry at the Seoul National University, Louisville University, and Temple University. And as you saw in the video, he is well known in his study on group theory, Kunron. And also he showed his strong leadership with professional societies. For example, um, after he joined the Korean Chemical Society, which was established in 1946, he really reorganized and activated under his control as the chief executive director. And he accomplished to subscribe foreign journals by raising funds and obtaining permission from Korean president to exchange Korean currencies into foreign currencies. It was really difficult task, but he made it. And together with Kim Dong-il, professor, he went. He made Korean Chemical Society to join as a member of International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry in 1963, despite of opposition of Soviet Union. One of the key members, he acted as one of the key members to establish the Pi Club, which was very famous in Korea at that time, which consisted of US PhD scientists such as 형섭 최영섭, 신문택, 하민영, 김승경, so on, 최상업. And as you know, 형섭 최영섭 was the minister of most when KSEA was founded. That means Choi Young-sub and Kim Seung-kyung were really close friends and, from the Pi Club. And Kim Seung-kyung awarded very many, but out of many, there are 3 Academy Awards from National Academy of Sciences Korea, 동백장 훈장, and 무궁화장 훈장. One of the most difficult problems faced during the first KSEA KSEA administration was when most offered to give $30,000 to KSEA as a subsidy. Since many people worried, KSEA could become 어용단체, we had several meetings until 2 a.m. in the morning and decided to accept with the following conditions. Subsidy from Korea will be used for the benefit of science and technology advancement in Korea, such as publishing directory. At the initial stage of KSEA, absolutely necessary expenses, if any, will be covered by subsidy. This was the strongly argued by Financial Affairs Director, and detailed tasks will be determined by counselors. So most of this money, $30,000, was used to make the KSEA directory number 1. So here is KSEA volume 1, number 1, and here is the explanation in Korean how we decided to receive that $30,000. So we are so fortunate to have Professor Shoon Kyung Kim as the first president of KSEA, whose love and devotion toward the advancement of science and technology in motherland was so immense. So we should follow him, even though he's gone already. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Very amazing, impressive, and somebody we all look up to. So thank you very much for presenting his life and his achievements.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Okay.
I hope I did not use too much time.
No. I think it was a great. It was very valuable. Every words, every slide was just very impressive. So KSEA's history and achievements were very well written in the book called KSEA 50 Years, 50년의 땀, 100년의 꿈. This was done by the committee chaired by 38th President Chung Myung-ji. And this committee, there are many members of the committee are here today. For 3 years, they put incredible amount of time and effort to produce this book. And today, a few presenters, speakers will share some of the primary contents of this book. So we'll start with 25th President Ki-dong Lee, who will describe the first 25 years of KSEA.
Thank you. to show. Oh. How can I?
Do
Screen
you
share.
have, yeah, there's a green button, share screen
Green button?
in the bottom of the Zoom. At least from my Zoom, it's a middle, bottom middle.
Cannot see it.
I think you should move around your cursor on the screen.
Yeah.
Then you see. Yeah.
Mhm. Maybe it's not. Okay, green button. Okay, I got it.
You got it?
It's the one.
If you hit it, you'll see various, the slide we can choose. You have to pick. I think you got, oh, that's Zoom.
So
You close this one and go to,
No.
so you will have a
Oh.
various square. When you hit share screen, you have to hit it, your slide, not the web
Okay. I cannot handle it. I
page.
always watch for the others presenting. I'm not presenting actually at all. I don't know how to handle it. No. I sent Professor Chung Young Chi my slide.
Okay, so let me
Maybe he can
try
present
to
it for
open
me.
then
Yeah.
for you.
Right, you should stop sharing first so that Professor G can use a screen share.
Right.
Or slide share. Maybe that's the one.
no.
Okay,
So let me try to
yeah,
get to. So, this one.
Sorry about this.
I think this is the one. So let me try to
mhm.
make a full screen here. Just 1 second.
Hit the slide show, yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. My presentation, the first part is very similar to the Professor Park's presentation earlier, and I'll concentrate more about our accomplishment in the first 25 years. Next slide, please. In the beginning, it's very similar to what Professor Park presented already. 6-9 attended, and 10 proposed first for this organization. And one thing noted is at the beginning, because we don't have money, any fund at all your leaders made their contribution and financed their own travel. And also some out of town from the DC, the attendees actually stayed at Koreans, fellow Koreans' house, kind of thing. So also after the council meeting, we donated the money, the attendees, instead of receiving the travel reimbursement, those people donated the money to the foundation, not foundation, to the organization. Okay, already, next slide, please. Professor Park already mentioned it. The same
Same picture.
picture. one thing noted is at the beginning, the mission statement of our organization, KSEA, is networking of Korean scholars in America. That's the top priority. The second one was the contribution to the modernization of the fatherland, our country. And it has been, our goal for a long time. And later it was more enriched and more items are added. Especially because we want to make our organization as a tax-free organization, tax exemption organizations. So in order to do that, those two mission statements are not enough. So what we add is more academic feature and more scholarship or community service. Those kind of thing has been added. The organizational structure is what Dr. Park already mentioned. It is stayed the same in 50 years ago, and now it's the same. Vice president at the beginning, there are 4 vice presidents, and now we have actually 3, including president-elect. Okay, and first KSEA letter was published in April 1972. Next slide, please. Okay, that's first our task was networking Korean scholars in America. Now, look at the numbers. At the beginning, first year is 421, and in 1991, I think, it's over 10,000. And number of chapters, including actually the branches, is 10, and at the peak, I don't know how many chapters we have, but at the peak it has 78. It's a really large number. We have grown so fast, so quickly, and now we are incorporated with Korean American professional societies. So also we published, it's more than a directory, it's who is who, we call it Chongnam. It include each science and engineers actual life in there, their education, their professional activities, and their publication, everything is in there. So it was actually provided every 2 years, updated every 2 years. And so at the peak, it total including the input over 10,000 professionals. Next, please. Next.
Oh, sorry. I think somehow it was a little bit frozen. Let me do it again. Sorry.
Yeah, the next is contribution to Korea. Some people actually, some of our leadership, including leadership, was concerned about independence of our society, as Professor Park talked about. So we were very careful in doing this, but actually this one is not only helping Korea, also we are helping our membership, our members. So we actually associate, we actually support Korea's recruiting. Not only that, we are supporting members' job search too. So it's kind of really good motivation for both sides. Okay, next. I'm sorry what I cannot handle it. Okay, in order to achieve this fellowship between Koreans and Korea's counterpart, KSEA organized and actually many different symposium or conference workshops. That has really grown so largely. At the beginning, we have it every other year, every 3 years kind of the period, but later we turned this one turned into UKC, and it is every year's annual activity. And the picture in here is 20-year anniversary picture held in Arlington, Virginia. And later, in 1974 to thereafter, Korean government supported not only KSEA in America, they supported the Kyopo, Korean the organization in over the world. They invited those scientists and engineers to have a symposium. They call it 모국 방문 과학기술 종합 symposium, and later it was changed into 세계 한민족 학술대회. But this one has disappeared after about few century. In 24th century, I think it is kind of discontinued. Next one, please. Yeah, this part is what we actually created and later concentrated to help Korean immigrants in America, like young generation and young generation conference and math competition, science competition, and also providing scholarship to the Korean immigrants. And the next, it has grown into individual scholarship to the kind of co-sponsor scholarship between KSEA and COSEP, and also KSEA supported some summer job or internship program to Korean American students in summer 3 months. Next. Oh, those 4 items, kind of networking, helping Korea, conferences, and community service. Those has been our concentration, and it has grown very largely and very popular, I think, as a KSA activities, locally as well as nationally. The next, I'd like to mention some very briefly or something about Korean headquarters offices or building. At the beginning, because there is no offices, permanent office available, so we rented some office room of us or stay in the leadership's office, the house, I mean. Then Minister Hyung-Suk Choi helped us to purchase the executive office condominium in Rockville at $250,000. And we have used it for a while, but in about 10 years, I think it's about 10 years later, 1996, I think, 1994, Young Kim came to US not to see American president, he came to US to see us, Korean scientists and engineers in America. So he invited about 200 scholars at San Francisco. And at the time, he promised to support a Korean KSA headquarters building at the price of $5 million. At the time, Minister Jung Gun-mo and Chief of Staff Sung Soo Han helped us a lot. And at the time, Moon On-so, I think he was the president at the time, played a major role in lobbying. So we were successful, and the KSEA actually drafted Cusco bylaw and approved by Korean government, but later they changed those bylaw without any consultation with us. So the Cusco was owned by KSEA, but in my opinion, it was stolen by the bureaucracy. So now we are using just little portion of the building as our the headquarters office. At the beginning, we tried to have some KSA meetings over there, but we found finally it is too small to support KSA activities. So now, and also we want to move around the nation from one place to the other. So we are not using it that much in that purpose. Okay, next slide. Those are the first Rockville office. Rockville office is right here in the lower left corner of two-room of executive offices over there. And this one is Cusco. Our office is third floor, left-hand side. And next.
That's it, I think.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
That's all I have.
Yeah.
I sent you second file.
Second one?
Second file, I sent you second file.
Oh, I see. Okay, just 1 second.
Yeah,
So
this
let
is
me-
the first one.
We have a 15 minutes. We have
He's
four,
using
5
So,
speakers to go. Sherry, do you have just a
So you want to have
Yeah,
this concluding
I
remark?
just
Good,
want to
good.
mention
Okay.
those,
Thank you.
in conclusion,
Yeah.
KSU was founded about the same time as Korea's industrialization. So KSE grew with Korea, South Korea, I mean. Our GMP was in 1971, 310, and 1996, 25 years later, it became 13,000. And 2019, it is $33,000. So it grows so quickly, and so is KSA. And KSA and its members, actually, I can say, has played a major role in supporting Korea's progress. We call 3 decades of the first part of Korean progress, as well KSES progress. We call it man-made miracle, what we call 한강의 기적. So I think KSA grew with together with Korea. Last statement is, during all those progress and the establishment, KSA leadership has done a great job. I think including the first president, Shoon Kyung Kim, KSA leadership has done really big, great job. When I look at the first about 20, not 20, about 15 for the presidents, not few or not many left actually. Professor Chan Ho Park, I think is the third president who is doing well now. Thank you.
Thank you. So we have 5 speakers left. I gave each one 5 minutes. So I'm going to be very strict from now on, 5 minutes. One thing I know, the Professor Han, you have to leave soon. Do you want to just go first? You're muted.
Professor Han?
I think he's trying to unmute. Okay, good.
Yeah. Okay.
We changed the order. So Han, 28th president will talk about demography review of KSEA.
Can you see the slide?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the trouble is I'm having 2 Zoom meetings. That's the trouble. So I'm using my iPad, and I never used this for Zoom meetings before. So I'm still clumsy. But anyway, what I'm going to talk about is demographic changes over the past 20 years. So we're going to skip the first 25 years and then start from the 26th year. Professor Myung-Jung Lee and I analyzed the demographic data over the past 20 years since about 2000, but I don't think there was that much change between 2000 and 1996. So it's a pretty good database. And the reason is I had a copy of the database that's around 2000. And then of course, we had a database for the year 2021. So I used those 2 databases. And I don't know, those of you who are familiar with our databases, there are a lot of things to be cleaned up. But other than that, that's all we could do. And I was supposed to look at the people in academia and Professor Lee, those in industry, but we realized that the trends are about the same between the 2 groups. So first of all, our total membership increased 5.1-fold. That's from here to here. Maybe I cannot use the pointer, so that I guess that's a drawback. But anyway, you can see the change, and it's quite a lot because the Korean American population increased about 1.6-fold only. So our membership has increased much faster than the general Korean American population. So if we look at the, oh, I'm sorry, I guess there is there's a picture here. The reason is the undergrad students, the number, their number increased the most, much more than the total membership. And also the women members, their number increased to 2.5-fold to 24%. So that's a pretty good number. Much more than men members. And then the same thing with the doctoral degree holders. The number of doctoral degree holders increased in much more in women than in men. And the other thing is, I think this is true in general in this country. That is, more people are moving to the West and the South. So the same thing happened in our membership. So here is South and then West on the right-hand side. I don't know, those of you who are familiar with the iPad, when I transfer the file from my desk PC to iPad, something happened to the figures, to the slides. So the scale has changed. So these bars are not supposed to be so small, but they are supposed to be much taller. But anyway. And then here I have the same problem. These bars are much taller. But what this shows is that the professorial positions increased at a higher rate than total academic positions. What it means is we have professorial positions in academia, but at the same time we have postdoc positions and research positions. So luckily, the professorial positions increased at a higher rate than the other types of positions. Well, it's shown clearly here. So that's a latter faculty. And between 2000 on the left side and 2020 on the right-hand side. So you can see there's a big increase in latter positions. So that's good. Latter means assistant, associate, and professor. So in conclusion, I can say we see an overall increase in membership, total membership, but the increase is more substantial in undergraduates, women, latter faculty, and in terms of, I guess, the region, South and West have a lot more increases in our members. So I guess the final conclusion is that we've had a very healthy growth in all categories of the membership. And that's all thanks to Professor Shoon Kyung Kim. So we should thank him. So that's it. I had to move fast. Sorry about that, because I have to leave soon.
Okay, well, thank you very much. It's very good to see all the changes. As you said, it looks very healthy.
Yeah,
Thanks,
yeah,
Professor Han. Can you send this original file to me?
sure, I'll do
Yeah,
that.
all right. Thank you.
I'll
Yeah.
collect all the presentations.
Okay.
shared. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
And then I'm sorry about a couple of slides which didn't come out right.
We
But we
understand.
got the message.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right. Thank you again.
Thank you
Have a
very
nice
much.
meeting. I have to
Yeah.
leave.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
All right. So now you're going back to our original schedule, but still we'll stick to 5 minutes to each speaker if possible. So the second 25 years of KSEA.
Let me see. This has to be, I think, unshared, right? I guess. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you
Very
have to
good.
share.
Okay.
Second 25 years of KSEA will be presented by the 38th President Chung Yong-ji.
So hope you can see my
Yeah.
screen okay? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, actually, I understand Professor Ki-dong Lee to talk about the first 25 years in a very short period of time. Of course, it takes a long time. I hope I don't take too much time, but it's the same thing. We have a lot of progress in the next 25 years, KSEA, and also some beyond. So I'd like to talk in this celebrating the life and career of KSA first President Shoon Kyung Kim. We'll talk about some roadmap of our journey, eventually for the publication of KSA 50 years. So you have seen this book, and let me try to, let's see, make the whole thing a little bit more visible. So, oops, this may be too large. All right. So you have seen this book. It's around 450 pages. And when we come up with this book, of course, there are so many people contributed and so on. But there is committee members on those periods, and also editorial board members. And as you can see here, that the good thing was that several members shared both this editorial board and the committee. So there was a kind of sustainability to come up with the finalizing the draft and so forth. So that was good. And then especially, as you know, that 10 days ago, we had a memorial for Professor Nako Song. It was so sad, but we were so fortunate to have Professor Nako Song in the last 3 or 4 years to work on this. And then also, right now, this administrative assistant, Ms. Jae Yoon, joining us, watching us. But it was a great help that we were receiving. And Michelle Cho was at the beginning trying to help. And Johnny Kim later, he will speak about the young generation, but he was a great helper. And also Mrs. Claire Kang, she was really helping us to make a nice book design and so forth. So we are all thankful to all of those. So I will just briefly talk about this recent 25 years and then summarizing some highlights to come up to this publication. And then also I'd like to say, what did we learn from this journey and summary and outlook. So if I may, summarizing this 25 years, every 5 years, we're trying to come up with some highlighting word. Maybe the first, based on first 25 years, 26 to 30 was like a period with endurance. Then the next period was kind of rebound. And then I was fortunate in the next 5 years period, and we made a great progress, thankful to many other former presidents to establish all this great organization. And then after that, there were some stabilizations, and then now it has been some transition period. And after this 25 years, second 25 years, now we are looking at really bright future. And as you have seen, that President Young-gi Kim working a lot of things, and hope we are getting into this period of breakthrough for our organizations. So this book was sort of kicked off around 4 years ago. And we formed the editorial board to keep the sustainability until we actually have a tangible out product. So in the meantime, I think, I had a visit to Korea, and as you see here is President Ki-sun Lee, and then also just next to him, Dr. Nam Gung-eun. He was the editor-in-chief of this COF's 50-year book, 지도에도 없는 길, 그러나 가야 하는 길. It was a very nice inspiration, and I have an opportunity to meet them to learn, how to how to proceed and so forth. So there was a lot of things that we have discussed at the beginning, why our organization exists and why those 69 elder colleagues gather at DC in 71 and initiate this organization. So we wanted to ask ourselves, and can we take opportunity of this 50th anniversary to rejuvenate the spirit of KSEA? And can we learn some lesson from the past and inspire the future and so forth? So as you can see here, also Elaine Kim, Mrs. Ki-soo Kim is shown here, and just next to me, there is also Professor Nako Song, who passed away. And so during the period, we collected a lot of data,
So
materials.
could you, I'm just getting phone call from various people are waiting, just joining another Zoom. So I don't know what's going on, but you can keep going. Sorry about.
Okay, all right,
There was
okay.
a phone call
right.
I'm receiving.
Okay, so here, all these materials we gather. So we had also some repository and so forth. So as you know that during the period we prepare this book, a lot of time we, due to the COVID, we had to do a lot of Zoom meetings and so forth. And after going through, actually just before, there is a Michelle Cho is shown in one of those photos, just as a record. And then one of the great success was that we were able to make a intermediate book, so-called the soft-bound book in July 2021. And that was a great asset. We were using this soft-bound book as a springboard to make this final version of a hardbound book. And eventually we were succeeded 2021 November. And after that, we had some celebration, book fest in LA. And as you see here, Professor Yonglak Lee, you can see him at the center of this photo. And he was dreaming actually to come up with this book for a long, long time. But eventually we were so lucky to have him taking picture with us. And it was a great moment to show him this finalized book. And then, so in 2022, finally, we came back to DC, Washington, DC, where this organization started. And we had this sort of history forum, some of you remember. And as you see that Professor Nako Song stand next to him, and also Dr. Ki-soo Kim joined from Korea and so forth. So I think that essentially what we learned is kind of, I don't know, one can say many different ways, but there is an altruistic spirit, kind of unselfish spirit we actually learned. And this also by doing so, we built up all these friendships. So we had 50 years working together for Korean American scientists and engineers. That was actually the title of the softbound book. And we had these dream tours 100 years. So I was so lucky to have many excellent colleagues around me to go through this. And then eventually we succeeded to publish this book. So I'm thankful to all these 50 KSA presidents, former president, and also current and the future president and so on. So if I summarize, perhaps KSA 50 years book was kind of landmark achievement, manifesting that KSA could do together something. And in my opinion, it should be capitalized to build up the future progress of KSEA. And I think the key thing is the security, stewardship, and sustainability seems to be one of the key spirit for the success of KSEA. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Sorry, I was on the phone. There are a number of people using a different Zoom link. Looks like they used Nako-san's memorial link instead of this. So I was distracted. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Well, so they're still trying to figure out. So I've been sending email. Sorry for the interruption. Our next presentation will be 35th President Sung-Kwon Kang. He will discuss the statistics of KSEA.
Okay. Screen share. Okay. Okay, you got my image?
Yes, it's great.
It's a great honor to participate 20 years memorial forums. My next slide. I was looking very early, KSEA letters just before last year's UKC preparation. I come across a very interesting, the information which is shown here, which is KSA Volume 1, Number 4, is published October, this blocking my screen here, is October 12 or 14, 1972. The cover story is Professor Shoon Kyung Kim receiving a medal from Korean government. And somewhere in the end of this newsletters, I found a little piece of news about Philadelphia, branch inaugural meeting, which happened July 14th of 1972. That meeting was in one of Korean church, like Hanin-Yeonap-Gyoe. And there, Professor Kim, as the president of KSEA, giving a congratulatory remark, and also Dr. Kim Dong-han was elected as the branch president of that, that time. And there were 11 members attending that inaugural meeting. I found my own name as well as Professor Shoon Kyung Kim's name there. So this is very historical, data. And I was a graduate student of University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia. And to me, as well as to my wife, this information is very meaningful because we married same year, 1972, January, in this Korean church. So last year, it marks our wedding 50th anniversary, as well as my 50 years membership of KSEA. And this was the first time I met Professor Shoon Kyung Kim, and I become member immediately. And I served as a member for KSEA last 50 years. So this is very historical information. And actually, I circulated this information last UKC, and Kang-ok Lee is helping me to organize a little bit better, PowerPoint, the slide. Anyway, let's go back to the main topic. In that 50 years history book, there is a little article of mine. The title is A Brief History of KSEA by Statistics. It's only 4 pages. However, to write this short article, 4 pages, it took about, for me, collecting data for 25 years. So it took about 25 years to write these short papers, okay? And at the bottom there, I wrote there with the help of Kelly Han. You know who is Kelly Han, right? She's working as finance, the manager last 15, 16 years for KSEA with dedication, and had a terrible, the auto accident, and still is in, the very heroic, the recovery or rehab, process. And she helped a lot last 10 years data collections. Yeah, you can see the next slide there. This is complicated, collection of all the data. And the last 3 years, which is 2021, 2020, and 2019, is new data. It's not published in 50 years. So this is additional data. You see that collected by Kelly Han with her all, difficulty, and she was willing to help me about 1 month ago. So what you see here is brand new data of last 27 years, okay? So basically, most of data you can see there is headquarter finance data. In addition to that, we can find out chapter information and membership information, as well as some election, information. Yeah. So instead of looking this detailed number, I prepared as few graphs. And the first graph here, you see a income trend of headquarters and last 27 years, starting 1995 and up to 50th anniversary, 50th administration. So what you see there is confirming the presentation of Dr. Ki-dong Lee, as well as the Chung-Young, Dr. Chung-Young Lee, and KSEA made a steady and very, the dramatic growth period. Maybe at the beginning of few years, there was some decreasing trend, but hitting a lowest point year 2003, and since then there's dramatic increase. So like around 2003, we had less than $500,000 budget. Now we, over $2 million. Yeah, so that's the the growth. Yeah. Okay. And oh yeah, maybe one comment is, maybe Professor Shoon Kyung Kim see this data, he will be very happy. How we made it this, the amazing growth. Yeah. So this graph is comparing a income versus a expenditure. Obviously, you have more income, you're spending more. Okay, let's go to next graph. This is showing two major income source, and the red bar that is coming from UKC fundraising, and the blue bar that coming from COPS project-based, the incomes. Until like 2006, if you see look at the bottom, the graph there, it's about same level. The income coming from UKC as well as from COPS is about same level. But since 2006, the UKC fundraising income is growing, dramatically. So currently, like even fifth, the 50s, the administration coming from UKC income is maybe 4 or 5 times, or from COPS. That telling how we are independent from COPS, the support. Yeah. Okay, this is 3 items from major expenditures. The blue bar is from UKC expense, and red bar is chapter development expense, and green bar young generation development. You can see that how KSEA headquarters have emphasized on the chapter development as well as young generation development. Those are 2 main areas we're emphasizing. Obviously, we spend a lot of money on UKC. How much we're saving UKC expense and spending all the rest of money into this young generation development and chapter development, that will make it, the future much brighter. Yeah. Okay. And this is membership data, and the membership data of the last 3 years not collected yet. So what you see here is the same, exactly same graph published in 50 years history book. But this graph showing, telling many, the important lessons. We had actually 2 sets of data for membership. The blue bar is total members, so-called a total membership, and red bar is members paid every year. So we call this as active membership. And until like 2008, we have 2 sets of data, and there's big disparity between, the total members and the members paid. Obviously, there was several years total membership is over 7,000. However, after 2008, our membership definition become a very rigorous. So we eliminate those discrepancy and we treat, total member as a total member paid. Yeah. So we talking about 4,000, members. I think you saw already previously, the presentation has different numbers, presented. However, this is more, the consistent, the data. And maybe we don't have last 3 years, the membership data, but I worry about maybe last 3 years membership might be decreased a little bit because of coronavirus, the impact. Yeah. So that's why I think current, the Young Kim administration is emphasizing membership drive more, with bigger. And I think that is big challenge, not just current administration, but coming administrations. Membership drive is the important task of whole, the organization that I see from this data. Yeah. All right, this is chapter information, and chapter is we defined as chapter which has more than 30 members, active members paid, the membership paid, the members. Yeah. And if you plotted that number and there is a, the continuous growth, but we reach about 40s, 42, 43, that numbers. And if you're adding branches, which is less than, the smaller chapter, less than 30 members, that might be number is over 70 plus. Yeah. So again, from this curve, coming, the administration challenge is how you can increase number of chapters up to 70. Okay. Yeah. All right. This short article, the end of short article, I made a concluding remark for the future of KSEA. I highlighted with, yellow here. It is critical time to discuss among all members what should be our new organizational visions for the coming 50 years. Okay. So from my viewpoint, when we publishing this 50 years history, it's a time to discuss among all our members what will be our new organization views. Maybe it's okay, we can carry on all visions, or we need new one. Yeah, I think it's the two speakers coming, younger generations, and maybe that address there will be that issue more. But I had my own effort. Is there any new organizational view for KSEA? That is shown is this slide from my one of old seminar slide. Either for individuals or organization, we need a noble purpose to growth. Okay, continue growth. Yeah. So I like introduce a maybe one very noble concept called a 홍익 인간, which is very familiar concept for all generation, like the senior members, yeah, which is the original founding philosophy of Korea in several thousand years ago. It's amazing. Our ancestor had already this noble purpose in establishing country, considering like even current international the scene, there is still war, brutal war is going on, and how come our ancestor had this noble purpose in like that old days? Yeah. And that same concept, philosophy, was adopted by South Korean government as official Korean education model. So I remember when I was in public school in Korea, we had this 홍익 인간, is framed in front of classroom and posted up there. So this is 홍익 인간, translated English is to broadly benefit human world, or humanities. Yeah. So until now, last 50 years, KSEA operated with the mission of 홍익 한국 or 홍익 미국. In other words, 홍익 한국 is we try to benefit to Korea, and we try to benefit to USA, which is we live in. But maybe in remaining 21st century, we need a bigger philosophy or more noble philosophy of such as 홍익 인간, which is benefit whole worldwide or whole humanity. Okay, that's my proposal. And preparing that, I come across this interesting piece of information. This concept or philosophy is already well known among many world scholars, such as here Arnold Toynbee. He's famous, the historian, and he already interviewed with Korean newspaper 1971, and he admit that, and this noble, the philosophy should be adopted by all nations in 21st centuries. Yeah, and also this day you can easily come across many good YouTube video about 홍익인간 in internet. Yeah, and last year July, when I prepared in KSEA, the UKC, the talk, I was come across very interesting, the scene in my neighboring town. There was a taekwondo, the academy has a compound as 홍익인간. So I went into that taekwondo, the academy. I had long time discussion with, the master. How come you had this, as title of your, the taekwondo academy? So looks like not only just historian, but common people interested in very much this concept. Yeah. All right, this is already presented, in last year history, the forum. Yeah, thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. We have remarkable presentations by our 5 former presidents. So that's all awesome, our achievements, and it's also made us think about what we want to be in the future. With that, we have 2 sort of people who will be working for KSEA for many, many decades. So we have Shoon Kim, New Jersey chapter president. She's representing the careers of KSEA, and she will tell us, future perspective of KSEA.
Okay, sure. Thank you, President Young-gi Kim. So good evening, everyone. It's my great pleasure to be part of today's discussion and share my perspective on the future of KSEA as a mid-career KSEA member. And for those of you who do not know me, my name is again Shoon Kim, and I'm an associate professor at New Jersey Institute of Technology. And I served as finance director for the 49th admin and executive director for the 50th admin. And my remarks today are rather conversational without any visual aids, and I hope that's fine with you. So as one of the KSEA, the active members, I've had an opportunity to participate in various KSEA events in the last few years, and notice that there's kind of a missing age group, what I might call mid-career KSEA members, which could potentially represent a significant portion of our membership. So if I use a human body analogy, mid-career members are like the waist of our body, like the body, connecting our early career members to our late career members. And for the future of KSEA, I believe we need a stronger waist, 튼튼한 허리. So I hope to see more mid-career KSEA members and their active participation in the organization, as they can significantly contribute to realizing our mission and vision, such as international collaboration, career opportunity, and community service. And for that, we should provide better career development opportunities for our mid-career KSEA members to support their career advancement. But currently, there is a lack of programs tailored for our mid-career KSEA members. So President Young-gi Kim's admin recently hosted an online workshop for mid-careers, which was kind of a pilot program. But we should develop a more sustainable program with long-term strategies. And we should identify what kind of unique challenges our mid-career members face and what kind of career advancement opportunities are available for our mid-career members, and what kind of role KSEA can play to develop mid-career advancement programs for Korean American scientists and engineers to advance their research and career trajectory. So for example, the mid-career stage often poses a critical transition point in their careers, including some leadership opportunities. And despite significant success achieved by Asian American scientists and engineers in both academia and industry, it is still uncommon to see us in senior leadership positions. However, diversity is on the rise, and we expect to see more Asian American leaders. Then what kind of unique role can KSEA play to fill this leadership gap for Korean American scientists and engineers? So that kind of question is something we should think about. And at the same time, we also should think about some strategies to enhance the retention of our younger generation and early career members. For example, our SEED program has been very successful, but how can we ensure their continuous engagement in KSEA activities after the event? So what kind of mentoring programs can KSEA provide for their continuous engagement and successful growth to mid-careers? And as a leading scientific and engineering organization, how can we be more innovative and utilize technology to innovate our mentoring and networking programs? I also hope we can revisit our mission and vision statements, which are a bit outdated in my opinion, and evaluate how we've been doing as an organization to reach our goals using a clear set of KPIs beyond just the number of active membership, which is kind of currently missing. So people join the association not only for the benefits it's providing, but also because of its value embodied in its mission and vision statements, which is also about why we exist as an organization. So it is important for us to review if they are still relevant in an ever-changing world, and also measure and track our success so we can improve it. And lastly, I hope to see more diversity in the future of KSEA, which is currently still lacking. So I'd like to see more women and second generation members represented in KSEA, and for their voices to be better heard in this organization. So I look forward to the next 50 and 100 years of KSEA as an organization, adapting to the changing world around it. And for that, I hope we can work together to build a stronger foundation of KSEA. So again, thank you so much for this opportunity to speak at this event, and thank you for allowing me to share my perspective. I hope it's 5 minutes.
We have a lot of homework to do listening to your remarks. This is a fantastic. I see the thumbs up, and in fact, their mission and vision are being looked at. A vision was revised, and this long-range planning committee will have a retreat to go over some of those. So I think that's very important topics. I want to have there was special, very, very special guest today that just joined just a while ago. The Dr. Shoon Kyung Kim's widow it's joined us, and also daughter Haewon Kim, and the son Matthew Kim, and daughter-in-law Linda Kim joined. So could you say a few words of family members of Dr. Shoon Kyung Kim?
Yeah, yes, this is the widow of Dr. Shoon Kyung Kim, Jung-hee Kim. Mom, say hello, and say
hello.
Hello. She's not used to Zoom.
I'm Mrs. Kim.
반갑습니다.
Nice meeting you.
반갑습니다.
반갑습니다.
네, 반갑습니다.
필라델피아에서 만난 것 같습니다. 예.
반갑습니다.
네, 반갑습니다.
필라델피아에서 한 50년 전에 만난 것 같습니다. 예.
성함이 무엇이죠?
저는 강성권입니다. 예.
강석호.
강성권. 예.
여기에 전 회장님이 많으시거든요. 그래서 지금 우리가 톡 하나가 더 있는데 그 마지막 톡을 하고 다시 한번 우리가 좀 so we can discuss, have a more informal conversations with the family members, if that's okay.
저는 여러 번 배웠어요.
예.
사모님.
예.
초창기에 가끔 김승경 초대회장님이 사모님하고 같이 오실 때가 있거든요. 팀워크 박사떼기로.
예.
그래서 많이 배웠습니다. 저 기억 못 하시겠지만 저 박찬모라고 합니다.
저는 기억합니다.
감사합니다.
네.
초대 총무라고 제가 소개를 했어요. 박형. 예.
예. 감사합니다. So we'll have a last remarks by Johnny Kim, who is the Young Generation Committee Chair. He's representing early careers. I guess that's the more appropriate word, Johnny. And then after that, we'll have more conversations with family members.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll make it quick because this is a very large group of very honorable and important people to KSEA's history. So I'm just new, but to introduce myself, in response to the diversity comment earlier, I am a second generation Korean American, born and raised in Virginia. My name is Johnny. You can call me Johnny. My full name is Jonathan Young Kim. I currently work for a railroad company called CSX. They're an East Coast railroad company, and I work in their data science department as a data science architect. For KSEA, though, I've worked in many young generation leadership roles since my undergraduate years at University of Virginia. And so if I count those years serving the YG group there and the local chapter in Virginia, I'd like to boast that I've already served KSEA for over a decade. It's been like 11, 12 years. But in recent years, I've had the honor to try to bridge the gap between the young generation and general KSEA membership and serving more broadly, and helped in several directors committees and even UKC as a program co-chair in a year or two ago. But currently my focus is still on what we historically know as the young generation membership of KSEA. So yes, the students and what I am, an early career professional in both academia and industry tracks. So yes, I'm currently serving as the Young Generation Committee Chair. And as the chair, I also get to attend the directors committees meetings as the next generation director of the 51st admin of KSEA. So 51 years. I think we heard a great summary already from all the other speakers tonight. So let me focus on the coming years. In my personal lifetime, I've witnessed South Korea putting itself on the map. It was an unknown country amongst my American friends, and suddenly now everything's about the latest K-pop band and K-drama. I can't even keep up with some of my American friends. But also in the technology and scientific advancements, it's incredible to see how far South Korea has come. And based on what I read in the history book, I think it's fair to say that KSEA had a major role in that. In fact, several folks in this room itself could probably take credit personally. Because when KSEA first started, Korea needed help. And I believe KSEA delivered. But if we look at today and the future, Korea's put itself in such a position where I don't know if the country in itself needs our help. Perhaps the primary purpose of KSEA, which started under the initial leadership of President Shoon Kyung Kim, has been already achieved. So what do we do nowadays? We've got just knowledge transfer, membership, the education, what have you. I mean, we've already talked about how long-range planning committee, they're talking about maybe re-envisioning the vision of KSEA, identifying factors of membership that can help steer us towards the future. I can personally vouch for several YG committee members that are also devoting efforts in similar conversations and even working with the long-range planning committee to help provide insight on the undergraduate membership. And it's funny because several of the speakers today's brought it up. As one I remember is former President Sung Won-gang brought up the concept of 홍익인간, and I think that's a beautiful thing. Also, it's just it really touches on our three KSEA mission points, which are the international cooperation, which I think we do fantastic on, career development, which I personally have already benefited from, so I know we've got that down. But the third one, community service, I feel is somewhere we can improve. So perhaps in the future, as we're moving towards the next 50 years of KSEA, it's not so much the United States helping South Korea, maybe shifting away from country to country, government to government aid. Maybe it's more about people, the 홍익인간. Maybe it was always about people, who knows? But for sure, examples are like the international student finding community in the foreign land of the United States, or the advice you give to families immigrating from South Korea to the US, or even nowadays, vice versa, families immigrating from the US to South Korea. These are resources that I've seen KSEA members provide to one another. To touch on chapter President Hyojin Kim's talk, do our mid-career members feel neglected from programming? Is this something that we can focus on? So I'd like to see if we can add a little focus on our members, the people, rather than this broad mission we had 50 years ago. I think now that we've got this really cool foundation set by the leadership in this room, and especially who we're honoring tonight, the first president, Shoon Kyung Kim, we've got half a century worth of KSEA experience and leadership, and it's built this solid foundation. I feel like the future will be super interesting, and the conversations we're having all across our leadership is steering us towards a new vision that I can only describe as very encouraging and full of potential. So I didn't have much more to say than that. I promised to keep it short, and I feel like I went on a tangent or ramble, but that's all I had to say. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak to you all.
Great, thank you.
Thank you very much, Johnny. You have been working, even if you are still young and early career professional, you had many years of incredible amount of contributions to KSEA. So I cannot thank you enough. And Hyojin as well, she had also made many years of contributions. But I forgot to mention that she organized the mid-career workshop actually in February in UKC during that time getting together. So I think that Johnny and Hyojin, you represent our future, and we'll have a more time to discuss about how to move from here, and happy to work with you. So with that, I think the Dr. An has one slide to show about Dr. Shoon Kyung Kim. Is that right?
Yes.
So with that, I will have more conversations. So go ahead.
Okay. Do you see this?
Not yet.
I don't see. Do you want to share screen, or you want to, where are you?
Okay. Can you see it or not?
Not yet.
How do you, yeah, now you are sharing.
Can you see it?
Yeah, could you make it more slideshow? More?
Now you
Yeah.
see it? Okay. I just wanted to introduce what Professor Shoon Kyung Kim had done, while we are working together. Always we paid attention to KSEA chores, not to particularly to his private research area. Actually, in England and in statistical mechanics area, Professor Kim's book on group theoretical methods is very famous, and even now it is being used in major universities in the States. Actually, his research was very interesting. I graduated from Yeshiva University in statistical mechanics, and I saw him here, even from 1969. There was a biannual meeting, spring and fall meeting twice a year. I saw him very often. I didn't know who he was. There was some Oriental scientist in the back, a step auditorium, or a lecture room at the end, last seat. He was smiling and sitting. I don't know who he was. Actually, Dr. Sang-bu Nam, who was assistant professor then, told me he was such and such a person. So I kept meeting him between 1969 to 1980. But I became to know him who he was when I joined Dr. Chan-mo Park and Ho-gil Kim in 1997 in this KSEA 6th administration as an editor. I didn't know very well, didn't do any work with Professor Kim, but he was already very reputed then, where in that meeting, Paul Dirac was attending, Ken Wilson, who did normalization and got Nobel Prize later, Daniel Mattis, Barton's student, Finkelstein, Michael Fisher, Griffiths, David Ruel of France, Professor Calabotti from Italy, Feynman, Uhlenbeck, Penrose, Wegener, and so on were attending, and he was very usually very quiet, but whenever he asked the question, everybody got quieted. Everybody paid attention to his question. Made very sharp questions. I noticed he wrote many papers with Bob Wilson, another Wilson, Bob Wilson, who got the Nobel Prize in 1978. Well, in spite of his advisor of Lars Onsager in Yale University, but he worked with many Nobel laureates, talked with them. So I was really amazed. I thought he was another Benjamin Fiso Lee in my mind. I had great respect, and I was very fortunate to meet him when I became KSEA president in 1997 as 25th past president, former president. So I think this area of statistical mechanics research is very remarkable, and many parts of that is well summarized in this group theoretical methods, that Oxford and Cambridge universities appear to are very proud to have his work published in their institution, and to Dr. Professor Kim's wife. I want to say good evening, hello. And in 1978, I visited Shoon Kyung Kim's home when Suntak Cho, 조순탁 선생님 came to the States. Then that time, Professor Chamo Park and I took him to Dr. Cho, 조순탁, to Kim Seung-kyung 선생님's home, and we were greeted by Mrs. Kim, and we were very happy to have met him that time. So I say another, thanks of 45 years later now. And okay, this is my last comment. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Could you stop sharing so that we can all see each other?
Yeah. I don't know where. Maybe I can. Okay.
Stop sharing at the
Did
top,
it stop
sharing.
or?
No, you're still sharing.
top of the screen.
I just
And-
found a picture of Mrs. Kim. So
Okay.
if possible, I would like to share.
Okay.
Ah, perfect.
Thank you.
Okay. How about we? Oh, okay. We should take a
Okay,
group
here is
photo
the-
before.
Oh.
Okay.
Can you see
Ah.
this picture?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
The
see that.
beautiful ladies.
Oh, is that you?
Yes,
That's
Yeah,
Mrs.
the
Kim.
Mrs.
Oh,
Kim in
Yeah.
March
can you make it a bit
1972.
bigger?
March 1972.
March 1972.
1972.
Wow.
We had
March.
many visitors at that time.
Mhm.
So here is President Kim
Uh-huh.
and Ho-gil Kim.
Mhm.
Mm.
Wow.
Great.
So you, okay, I will
All right.
share.
Okay, now if you can stop share. We also have Haewon and Matthew and Linda. Would you like to say anything?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, at least we'd like to see you, your faces. Oh, before that, yeah, you can, great, that's great. All right.
So, this is a great honor, you know, for my mother and our family. And we really appreciate that KSEA still being so strong. My mom's very proud of KSEA. We have some of the very old books, the history of KSEA, that we look at sometimes. And so, you know, everyone doing this and my mom seeing familiar faces, it makes her very happy, but also to see the organization that my father started and how it's gone to improve both Korea and Korean scientists in America is very exciting. So we're very honored by this thought. We didn't even realize that this was going on. So yeah, thank you very much. And Mom, why don't you say, you can say, go ahead.
Maybe I lived too long, but I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, everyone.
Haewon and Linda.
Okay, well, thank you so much. We all appreciate it. I know my dad was very much interested in education. That was his, life's goal. And we are so happy to see that KSEA grew and grew. And now it is wonderful. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Linda
Thank you very
and your
much.
mother, where
Yeah.
you locate
So let's have the photo, take photos. Matthew, you have to show your face onto the screen so that we can capture. We have a Haewon. Where is Linda?
Linda.
Yeah, I'm also here, but I'm actually sick, so that's why I don't have the video turned on.
Oh, okay.
May I also ask my son, Jeff, where are you, Jeff?
Oh, Jack.
Jeff is
Jeff, sorry.
my father's his grandson. So Jeff, where are you? Are you there?
How old is he, Jeff?
I see him.
Where are you?
Oh,
Hello,
Jeff.
Jeff.
We see him.
Why don't you say hello?
Yeah.
Yes, hi to everyone, and just ditto what everyone else said. Huge thank you. This is really great.
Right. Would you like to be a member of KSEA?
Sure.
I think we should give honorary members to all family members. What do you think, everybody?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I think the family members of Dr. Shoon Kyung Kim should be honorary members.
Right.
Okay, that's good. We'll make that happen. And before anything,
Mrs. Kim, where you locate now?
She lives in Arizona, Scottsdale, Arizona.
Okay. Oh,
so if you come, please come visit. She loves seeing everyone, and please, you know, if you get to Arizona, you're very welcome. And she would love to see old and new faces.
Right.
That's great. Okay, now everybody, I cannot put all the faces in one screen, so we have to do two. Everybody smile, stay smiling for 10 seconds, okay? 1, 2, 3, smile.
Too long.
Once more. Okay. Okay, so that's, I think I captured all in this photo. But I want to try once more because always you will find somebody close their eyes and things like that. I'm not comfortable. Okay, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, I hope that's one of them will work out. So now we can have a chat or informal conversations.
President Younggi, I just found that one of Dr. Shoon Kyung Kim's photo taken in 2003.
Okay, you want to share?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
It's in front of the
In
KSEA
headquarters.
office.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's great. That's great.
thank you. Thank you very much.
great.
So wait a
Thank you,
minute, that is
Taewon, could you
2003.
write the Mrs. Kim's home address in the chat box so that I can capture? Thank you. And phone number as well.
Okay, Matt, I'll put it in.
All right, go
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
김승경 박사님이 2003년에 돌아가시지 않으셨어요?
예,
맞아요.
지금이 20주년이니까 3월
그러면은 이
14일.
사진 조금 전에 이강욱 박사가 찍은 사진이 어떻게
그때 돌아가시기 전에.
하루 전에
바로 전.
헤드쿼터 방문하셔가지고 찍은 거다.
제가 찍은 게 아니고
예,
그때 정찬열 교수님이 찍은가 그런 거예요.
그렇죠.
정찬
교수가
그때 회장했죠. 예.
정찬
교수가 회장했다고. 그래서
그러니까-
제가 그 사진을 구해서 KSEA 소개하는데 그 사진 썼어요.
I see.
예. 사모님 기억하세요 그날? 혹시?
Mom,
She remembers.
He remembers that. That's
예.
오케이.
20년 전이니까.
그러니까 그때 저 김승경 박사님이 80 몇이었죠? 그러니까
83세.
83세. 예.
예.
오케이.
He had many photo opportunity occasions at the time. That's why Mrs. Kim may not remember all.
그러니까 3월 14일 날 돌아가신 거 아니에요?
네, 맞습니다.
그러네.
오늘이 기일입니다.
그러니까 저 사진은 3월 13일 전,
전.
2003년 3월 13일 전이라는 이야기인데.
예.
이 들고 계신 게 회보 1호일 거예요.
그런 것 같은.
네.
그 저기 그 픽처 있던 거예요.
그게
그쵸.
어떻게 됐냐면은 송낙거 교수님이 회장하실 적에 상을 드렸는데 그렇게 되면 상을 드리면 그 다음에 있는 회장님이 드리게 돼 있어요 보니까. 그래서 정찬일 교수님이 드렸을 거예요. 그러니까 30대에서 처음 시작을 했고 아웃스탠딩 서비스 어워드를 그래서 제일 먼저 받으셨고 그때 또 받으신 분이 한승수 국무총리, 그 당시에는 국무총리 아니지만 그분도 같이 받으셨을 거예요.
최영섭 박사가 받으셨죠. 최영섭 박사가.
세 분이 받네. 그 31대에서 이제 그 수상을 하게 된 기회를 가졌죠.
오케이. 그러니까 그때만 해도 정정하셨는데.
그럼요. 우리
83세면 정정호 씨죠.
근데 갑자기 돌아가셨다. 예.
그래서 그때 제가 뭘 했냐면은 그 퍼블리케이션 디렉터를 했어요. 그래서 회보를 내 가지고 김승경 회장님 특집을 그때 냈죠. 그래서 제가 그걸 준비를 안 했지만은 혹시 관심 있는 분은 그 31대 그 볼륨 31을 보시면은 그 김승경 초대 그러니까 파운딩 프레지던트 초대 회장님에 대한 그 특집이 있습니다.
예.
기억나요.
So let me see, Jeff, do you speak Korean?
No, I don't. Sorry.
Okay, I
I'm
think we
sorry.
should speak in English. So you have the special edition when he passed away, soon after he passed away? Is that what you said?
Yeah,
Well-
it's volume in KSA letters, volume
Yes,
31.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Right.
have those.
So the Jack, I think you understand, Professor Kim, your grandfather is founding president of the KSEA, and then when he passed away, KSEA prepared a special edition of KSEA letters. So
Yes, we
that is included in volume 31.
Which
Yes, we have
available.
it.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
have it, yeah.
Yes, we
That's
have
great.
it at
So-
home. Thank you.
Mhm.
And Jeff saw it too.
Yes.
I see.
Yeah.
Great.
Jeff,
I would like to also have an article. So this is a 20th anniversary, and we have this newsletter next to the version or issue. I think it'll be good to add an article about him. So now I have this photo of all family members with us, so I may be able to use that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could, I'm gonna put my email in there. If you have any photos, we'd love to see them. And my mom, it really brightens her up when, you know, she sees the things from the past, and also to see your smiling faces has really helped her. So if you have anything, you know, we'd appreciate it, because I haven't seen all the photos of my father. And yeah.
Okay, Matthew, so then put your email address in the chat box. What I will do is I will ask all our former presidents and others if anyone who has photos of your father will collect, and it will send them to you.
That would be really appreciated. Thank you. Yeah. And my
I
mom would
also-
really like that.
I also see
So-
that you are recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Dr. Park, go ahead. I'm sorry.
where she lives now?
In Arizona.
Oh, Arizona. So she
Yes.
Yes.
moved.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, she still has her house in Philadelphia, but she's going to move here. But you know, the weather is very nice here, so it's good for her.
No doubt.
And
Yeah, I was in Phoenix in January. The weather is fantastic. They're very good at the time.
please, next time you come to Phoenix, please visit. We love to see you. Please.
Matthew, you said it, we may come, really.
Well,
You should come, and you can come when it's really miserable too. You know.
in
night-
such a case, when you put the your email address, the chat box, you can add the address as well, mailing
Oh.
address. And then President Kim will have the your email address and
Okay.
also your mailing address.
Okay, I'll
That's
give you
good.
my mailing
Right.
address.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that would be very great. And you know, it's been really a joy for my mom to, she doesn't really do Zoom very often, but we
And then also I
appreciate.
see that the chat box, Linda asked whether they would have access to the Zoom recordings. I think of
Yes,
course
we'll
they
make it
can.
available.
I was
to
going
you.
to ask. Yes.
So-
So
Yeah,
if you could
because
send
we
us the
did
Zoom
that before.
recording, yes. I will also send my email address. So
Mhm.
if you could send us the Zoom recording. We were delayed in joining you, but that will be great. So let me send my address too. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's wonderful.
All right, anyone else would like to say anything?
No questions asked.
I'm typing in all the names of family members. That's why I'm a little bit distracted. I'm trying to catch Jeff's last name. Okay, I think I got pretty much, I got everything.
Linda, I think I remember, I don't know exactly when, but we were invited to Blue House in one of the, the conference, US Korea conference. And we happened to be sitting with your family, you and maybe your mom, but your father was not attending that, meeting.
Mom,
So,
I think there was me, actually.
yeah.
There was Hae-won.
So
Yes.
maybe Hae-won,
Yes,
Hae-won.
yes,
Okay.
it was me
So
who
that
was-
was maybe
Yes.
80s, 1980 sometime.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I remember that.
So me and my wife sitting with, you and maybe your mom. Your mom was not there. Yeah.
No, I
Your
think my dad
father's
was-
supposed to be there, but your father was not attending that luncheon meeting. Yeah.
That's right. So that's why
okay.
I substituted for my dad.
Right. Okay.
Right.
So, okay, that's like, oh boy, that's like 40 some years.
I
ago.
think you say it was 1980.
Yeah, it's
If it was
sometimes.
1980, Professor Kim was prohibited to go to Korea.
No, he was
because
in
he
Korea,
participated
but he
using
was in the Korea, but he's not attending intentionally into that
Oh.
luncheon meeting. Yeah.
Yes.
I think that was that's the time of Jeon Do-han. Jeon Do-han was the Korean president. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That's very interesting.
Very interesting. Yeah. Yeah. So I think when I was a student in the Philadelphia, once we invited to your home in Temple, near Temple University,
Yeah.
the North Philadelphia. Yeah. So I have vague memory. Several, the graduate students from all different universities invited, and we were there. And I certainly I saw your mom and your father, but yeah, I don't have the recollection. When was it? Yeah, it must be like early 1970s. Yeah.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah.
No, it's such a pleasure to hear all these from the past. And, the thing that I appreciate is my father touched a lot of students and scientists. So I think KSEA is doing a great honor by doing this. Thank you.
So you also live in Scottsdale, Arizona?
Yeah,
Oh,
we're very close to my mom. We're very,
Okay. All right,
and,
that's nice.
yeah.
I was, we had a family reunion in January. So we went to actually not Phoenix. We went to the Sedona and then Antelope.
Oh,
But I have a very, close friend in Phoenix. So I also stayed one night with him. So I had very, very good memory.
where do you live now?
Oh, I'm in Kingston, Rhode Island.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm close to Professor Kyung Kang. I don't know you remember Professor Kang Kyung-sik, Brown University.
Yeah.
강경식.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he passed away. But
long time
we
ago.
are about the 40 minutes apart.
Brown University.
Yeah. I'm at the University of Rhode Island, but Professor Kang was Brown University.
Yeah, I remember
then-
that my dad used to love Brown. He was,
Yeah.
and he loved Providence too. It was a good city.
Yeah, I love it too. Renaissance city now. The also the Mrs. Kim may remember Professor Byun Jong-ha.
명정화. Yes,
Yes.
I remember him.
Yeah, he was the professor at UMass Lowell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Boston. Yeah.
we had a very good time with those former president, but unfortunately, they are in the heaven next to God.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
The
It was so nice to see Mrs. Kim.
예,
Yeah,
인deed.
it's so
I was
wonderful.
wondering where you lived. Hi, Matt.
Yeah.
Do you hear from your father's brother in Hwanghae-do? No,
Um, no.
no,
South Korea.
not this.
Yeah, no, my mom, she used to send medicine and things to North Korea and things.
Right.
And
Really?
and yeah. And that was the only way
Dr.
that they had
Kim's
contact.
brother was professor in Hwanghae-do.
Mhm.
I see.
Mm.
But were you able to communicate with your uncle?
No. So my mom, there's ways that she could send money and medicine to North Korea, but it's very difficult. And
Yeah, it used to be easier, but now because of the relation, it's not too good. And because the U.S. citizens are prohibited to go to North Korea, I've been working with the Pyongyang University of Science Technology long time until 1917, when we are prohibited.
yeah, no, it's yeah, but my father visited North Korea once, right? Mom, did you
Yeah,
see?
once I went to.
Yeah, my mom,
Oh,
Yes.
they did visit. Yeah, and that
Yeah,
was
they visited.
my mom has an interesting story. After they visited North Korea, the FBI came to visit my father and my mother.
I'm not surprised.
And my father is still saying, FBI agent sat at his desk and he said, tell us about North Korea. But my dad said, I don't know anything, and just did his work. So the FBI got tired. Even my father was not afraid of the FBI. And neither was my mother. She told the FBI she had to go shopping when he came to visit.
Good for you.
So
Courageous.
that's interesting information. Yeah.
Yeah.
KSA first president was visited by FBI. Yeah.
There was a time we are at low point.
I see FBI people very often.
That's not.
FBI people, they give a name card, but not CIA people.
Oh.
FBI people, they give us their name business card.
All right, that's interesting. You'll have to, next time you come visit Arizona, I want to hear about these things. My mom would like to hear about
Yeah,
it.
probably. Yeah, I can share a lot of, because I stayed there almost 20 years on and off.
Wow. That's wow.
Are you going to write a book about your experience with North Korea at some point?
Well, I will try if I survive.
No, I think you are such a special individual, and I don't know anybody who has more, knowledge
Well,
and being
there are
there.
a lot of YouTubes and my interviews. For example, just a few weeks ago, I was in Columbia University, and I was interviewed by reporter from 조선일보. I thought it would be for the New York area, but she sent it to South Korea, and my friends in South Korea was sending my former students, sending everything, Yeah, there are a lot of articles I wrote, but not as a book. Probably someday I will try to combine them to make a book.
All right, so I think in East Coast it's 10:11 p.m. So it's
Oh.
getting rather late. So I think I would like to end. Thank you again, all the speakers sharing all the history and also the first President Shoon Kyung Kim's life and career and connecting our history and achievements and future to our founding president. I think that was a quite valuable and remarkable. And we will collect, if you all of your slides presentation, please send them to me. So I'll collect them and then I'll send those to Mrs. Kim and Matt, Linda, and Haewon. We'll send them. I have only email address of Haewon, but Matt and Linda and Jeff, if you can share your email in the chat box, I'll collect them as well and send you the documents that people have prepared today, and also recording. I'll send it to you. The URL.
So the Zoom recorded, Zoom session has been recorded?
Yes, it has been
Yes.
recorded.
Good.
And
good.
then
please
also
send it down to me
say again?
too. Send the Zoom recording to me.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
send it to all of you.
Okay,
Thank you.
It's a great
And-
idea to invite it, the Mrs. Kim Sung-kyung and Matthew and Linda and even the grandson.
Grandson
Right.
Jeff.
Right,
I mean,
really
it's
great.
3 generations.
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay, well,
absolutely. That's great.
thank you so much. And
Thank you very
Mrs.
much.
Kim and
Yeah.
Matthew, we'll come to you.
Yes, please. My mom would
Don't
love
kick
to
us
see.
out when we get there.
No. My mom will love. She loves seeing everyone, and she, she has a little courtyard here. She has a garden, so when you leave,
Uh-huh.
she'll give you some vegetables. But she's very pleased that you still have such great honor for, my father, and she appreciates the thoughts, and she knows that KSEA is doing very well, which is important to her.
Matthew, I remember when we established Professor Kim Sung-kyung Scholarship, you attended one of, the UKC.
Yeah.
Remember that time you running your own company?
Yeah.
Are you still doing that?
Yeah, I'm still doing the same thing. Yeah.
Okay.
You should come visit then, and then I'll show you what we're
In
doing.
Arizona?
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
see.
had a full lab, and I can show you what we're doing, and it's great
So
to
I
hear.
think that related somehow later, the application.
Well, we did with lasers. We started with lasers. Now we're doing high-speed transistor.
I see.
So for
Okay.
millimeter, so we're doing 90 gigahertz, things like that, very high speed. And
Okay.
so we
So you're a
transition.
high-tech company. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we do R&D. We still do R&D, but yeah, high tech.
Good.
Matthew, are you a member of KSEA? We said we'll give you honorary member, but are you a member by any chance?
All right, now I'm embarrassed. I should be a member.
Okay, oh, that's the point. But
Okay.
we'll give you honorary members,
right,
but I
well,
was just curious whether you're a
And
member.
also Linda, you are I forgot your major, but you are related to science and technology?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
My background,
Mathematics?
my background is in alternative medicine and research.
Oh, medicine. Okay.
I see.
Wow.
So you should be member too. Yeah.
Yeah. What about Haewon?
Oh, I'm in chemistry.
You?
I'm a theoretician.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
I mixed
That's
up.
great.
I mixed up
I
with
did
Linda.
use
Linda's
my
major.
father's
Yeah.
group theory and published the paper.
Oh,
So
that's great.
All right, so
What
we'll
about
all
Jeff?
sign up.
All sign up. Great.
Jeff
I'm
is
a
in
PhD
science.
student.
Also, Jeff, what are you in?
So I'm doing neuroscience mostly, but yeah, I'm a PhD student right now.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
Wow.
What school you're
So
at?
we have amazing, programs for early careers. So graduate students, the postdocs and all that above, young professionals and also the academia faculty as well. So you should take advantage of our programs.
great. That's great.
Wonderful. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Oh,
Okay.
So it was very successful membership drive evening too.
Yeah, we got 4 new. Even my mom. Yeah.
One at a
so
time.
much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
very
Very good to
Thank
see
you.
you.
It was a good
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah.
Thanks to Mrs. Kim.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay.